Hello everyone, good afternoon from Bangladesh. Myself, social worker Habibur Rahman, welcome you to this community talk series, a very initiative sister concern of Community Social Work Practice and Development Foundation. Today, I'm with you with my esteemed honorable guest, Meghna Menarauddin. She is joining from UK. She is the co-founder of Just Smile UK. So let me introduce Meghna Menarauddin with this topic. Hello, Meghna. How are you?
Hello. How are you? Morning from here.
Yeah,
Good
good.
afternoon to you.
Thank you. It's a special day for me to have you here because I know you are awfully busy lady there. You are working so many things together over the pandemic. And I was actually trying a lot to connect you today for this session. And lastly, I could get it positively to connect you, Meghna. So I'm very happy, really very happy to see you. And you could see the topic of the session is youth mentorship, capacity building, and community resilience. All three things. So far, I could recall my memory. You have so many works in UK, and even you are trying to make a hook with the Bangladeshi community to contribute for this. Before coming to the topic, this is a 35 minutes talk, interactive talk. So I would request you to introduce yourself with some activities with our viewers globally, those who will be connected soon, and how you are passing these days over the pandemic. It's on and on again, lockdown everywhere in the world, really. Meghna.
Sorry, my throat's dry. It's always a pleasure to see you, Habibur, and also, be part of your amazing platforms that you have, and send out a positive message as well as connect, people globally. So a bit about myself. I've been involved in youth and community work for the last 5 to 6 years in the community, from frontline to strategic delivery as well. But before that, I was in the education sector. So it's been quite a journey where I wanted to go into more detailed work. So yeah, I'd just say it's been very much of a journey. So specific, as we're talking about, youth and capacity building and community. So the varied aspects of my work can range from the charity side, where myself and my team, we raise awareness on homelessness, whether it's youth homelessness or adults, rough sleepers in UK. Also, we try and connect with other countries as well, where we've done work or fundraise and for communities and children abroad as well. And it's been really beneficial, as well as Newark Youth London. As you know, we're a youth and community based organization, which I'm a trustee of, and we deliver a lot of work for the community, for youth, for children from the age of 9 to 19 years old, even as old as 2021, for some of our projects, for their mental health and well-being, for employment, education, and just training. And there's so many other projects that are happening specifically for specifically for girls, and some for mixed groups. But it's been a journey through the since the COVID pandemic started last year. The last 18 months, it has been challenging for many of the teams, because I know, as you know, globally everyone had to adapt their services and how you're delivering and how you can support young people, how you can support the community we're living in. Another aspect of my role is, as delivering projects for another youth and community-based organization, which I'm currently an interim CEO of. And we had done a lot of outreach projects during the for COVID response for the elderly, for the older, as well as families as well. And I know we've touched on this many times, the impact mentally on mental health, being at home, staying at home, and how we have supported and how we can support further.
Excellent. So many works. I know out of all this that you already mentioned, there are so many more works that you have been doing over the pandemic and before pandemic to make the community resilient. Actually, that is the basic target. But Meghna, over the time here in Bangladesh, we are just developing, we're growing up with so many developmental trends recently by the STEM effort of Honorable Prime Minister and her team and the body of authorities of this country. But even after, during this pandemic, many young generations, young people lost their job, lost becoming homeless this time, living Dhaka city. You will be touched when every day I came to office. Sometime I asked some rickshaw pullers. Rickshaw is very
Yeah.
popular here in Dhaka city. I asked them, but their response is actually very touchy that they are not getting more people to earn money because the roads are sometimes backend and uh, only the rich man, the rich class, or the corporates or the officials, they can use the car, and some buses are run over this time, but they are not getting financial support. So in this, area cluster of the underprivileged people, they are suppressed also by this COVID, and students, they are staying at home. They are mentally stressed. They are just they are struggling with their mental will force to come back to the teaching or the education field, school, colleges. Recently, government has been trying. They were very positive to reopen school, college, and universities, but situation not permitting us to open this, but already decided by the government. And Honorable Education Minister already declared to reopen school and college from coming 12th of September, roster basis, or just dividing the classes to invite the class students one day. But what about UK, that where you were residing over the time? And so far I could case and learn from some people from UK that UK schools, college so far open over the pandemic, during the pandemic, maintaining some sanitization. So in that part, to recover the mental stress of the young generations, government has to open or reopen the school. But what is your suggestions actually? What we can do or our youngsters can follow during this opening time of schools and colleges here?
I, I think it's what it has been here in the UK, or many parts of the UK, if not all of UK. It's been test and trialing, as you know. Some of it's worked, some of it hasn't worked. So there's been smaller groups, as you said. It's been on where how they're letting in, how the schools and colleges or youth clubs and organizations have been letting in young people. So it has been just spreading out the times, letting some groups go a little bit earlier, letting the older groups go a little bit later. So so there isn't sort of like a crowd, and just to reduce the spread of and the infection rate. And also sanitizing is very important. I feel it's still very important that we still are cautious, and that schools and young people, children and young people, they're provided with the masks or sanitizing, and they constantly were maintaining that COVID safety, having the COVID safety measures. And I think since you're reopening your schools back in on the 12th, having smaller groups in classes, maintaining, because what we saw from last year when it was trial to reopen, maintain smaller groups, smaller bubbles, where even when you're out in the playground, still be amongst your friends, be amongst your groups, but having that sort of kind of like stay within your class or staying within a specific area in the school. So everyone's not in the same space at the same time. So you're right, you're on a roster system, even with the teachers, because what's happened here when it was test and trialing, the opening, reopening, teachers were falling unwell. So that meant the whole class had to isolate or go home, sent back home. Then there was a young person who was tested positive and feeling unwell. So they were sent home as well. So I think overall, COVID safety, having a COVID safety policy in schools, in colleges is very important, and maintaining it as the best as everybody. So it's everyone's responsibility, not only the teaching staff or the school body, college body, university body, but also, having messages, having signage around the school, around the
Right.
colleges, important, maintaining COVID safety measures, having that in place is very important.
Very, very good. I just follow some videos even produced by government sites for the students, how they maintain their health safety, use mask, use sanitize in schools. But I think that you mentioned, actually this is everybody's responsibility, not only from the government, not from the schools authority, right?
Yeah.
So I think in this time, if we, the guardians or the parents of the students, before sending their students to school, college, and even universities, the upper graduates, they should follow each and everybody, because
Yes.
it's very tough if only government take the responsibility, or the law and enforcing agencies take the responsibility to ensure using mask and sanitize. It's very difficult. But
Yes.
here, sometime but it's really tough, because the category of people in our country, the rates of education or literate people and conscious people, it actually it's mattering us to maintaining all these measures. You are maintaining, but I'm not maintaining. It
Yes.
might be from my ignorance, it might be from my abjurance, or not in obedience matter, or not maintaining, or my mindset or my attitude, that who cares, because COVID cannot do me any harm. Some people also believe this, which is very wrong, because they shouldn't do like this. But my concern is, over this last 2 years, in the categories of students, they are being deprived from their education, especially those who are supposed to complete their graduation and masters, or their HSC, I mean school college level, those who are hitting to be the university graduates. Separation is made everywhere due to their uh, fail to achievement their goal. So this time mentorship is very important. I think not only youth mentorship, actually mentorship is inclined for everybody. So how you guide us something, how we can mentor our kids, mentor our college going and university going students, even my mates in family and my office, because everybody seems to be frustrated, demotivated, actually harassed, or just sitting back. Nobody is startup self. So many hazards we are facing this time around. But as we are talking, as we are community talker, right? In that sense, we love to, you and me and other friends love to see the community resilient community. So this is a very vital term. So Meghna, you can just produce some talks on especially mentorship, which is very important this time.
Well, as you've said, you've touched on it. It's very mentorship overall is very important, whether it's to do with, within your own families, at your workplace, in the education sector, with young people, all age ranges. It's so important to provide a platform where everyone, or a space where everyone can, have a conversation, whether that conversation's in a group mentoring situation or whether it's a one-to-one. It's important that every area, say for example, whether it's work, whether it's your education side, there should be a space and a person that, someone, the young people can go to, adults can go to. So, I think governments should also, and certain other bodies should encourage definitely encourage these platforms, and also support, support a platform where people like yourselves, from all walks of life. This could be, people who are doing, come from all walks of life, also all different professions, come and provide mentorship as well, provide a space where, we're all facing challenges, and what we've learned ourselves and how we can help somebody else, another person. And just by talking, just by providing, tools, providing coping mechanisms as well. If they're feeling, if their mental health is, low, and as you've said, if they're feeling demotivated, about the situation, about prospects, as well as, a lot of people, as you've said, lost their jobs, or, there's no work at the moment. And there's a lot of situations going on, whether you're living in the city or you're living in the villages. Everyone's impacted by the global pandemic, be it in the UK, in Europe, or even, South Asia, in Bangladesh, and, all around the world globally. So it's very important that, we take the initiatives as community people, and we're supported by the governing bodies, by local authorities of our respective areas, and by the government. As you've said, the Bangladeshi government are also being supportive. And I think we all need to create platforms and not just speak about it, but actually put it into action, have a plan of action, and also get those get young people involved, get all different age ranges involved, and those, especially, the ones that can advocate and provide a voice. And advocating and mentorship platform is very important. What's worked, from my own personal experiences, where I found where I've been feeling low, or there's something that I wanted to do just to lift up my mood a bit. So, we can have that little chat with that close friend, or maybe a close, speak to someone in confidence, whether it's a colleague or a family member that you're comfortable enough to speak to, or maybe do something that, you once enjoyed. For example, maybe touch on reading or singing, or even going for a walk. Even if it's in your local area, get a walking group together, and then, just provide those small activities that can help, and, build that resilience, build the mental resilience as well. And in turn, as they say, one person can start something, and then it's like a domino effect. Others will join in on that platform. But it's very important to have that platform there, create that platform, whether it's you're doing it online, or whether you're doing it face to face in a safe space, whether it's a small group or even one-to-one. But having that link there where, say, for example, a young person can access, but making sure that there is something there for them.
Excellent, Meghna. Actually, your last words touch me a lot. Social work, when I read the definition, social work means social work is kind of enabling profession. This is kind of art, this is kind of composition of scientific methods to work people, to enable people, work for the people. As I have been graduated from social work and did all the degrees in social work, over the time, I just taught it, I just learned it even, that social work is a kind of enabling profession. But it touched me when I just confined myself within the classroom, teaching students, learning something from them. But I didn't find anything how I'm enabling people. Actually, this is one kind within the classroom. Then I decided that social work is 50-50. 50% should be within the classroom, and another 50% should be out of the classroom. That is community. That is the lab of this subject, how we can produce our knowledge, skills, and enabling people. Actually, then I decided, as a social worker, if we really love to be social worker, we have to contribute for the people. We have to enable people. And for enabling, financial crisis never matters, really. So far, I do believe, and you do believe, that if you have courage, that I'm completely agreeing with you, that if you have self-motivation, if you have mentorship mind, mentoring mind, if you have well-being oriented mind for the people, you can easily enlighten other people surrounding you, in the community. So mentorship, not for the youth, though we just wrote the topic here to categorize this term and description and talk today, but mentorship overall, self mentorship that you mentioned, mentorship to the family mates and groups, peer groups, and the friends, community people, even mentorship sometimes happen from junior to senior even, because
Yeah.
everybody definitely is not uh, uh, learn it in all sense. So that is a matter. And Meghna, we missed you during our last recent conference, April. That was amazing, really. 147 papers from approximately directly from 31 countries, and 60 countries participant attended in that conference. And you will be
Amazing.
happy to know about our little efforts of our foundation. And this, this is community talk where you are talking and interacting with me. And that is a this is the hard copy, printed version of
Oh,
community
wow.
talk.
Oh, this is amazing. Well done. Well done,
This is
Habib. Well done
yeah,
to you and
thank
your
you.
team.
This is the printed version of community talks newsletter, and
Amazing.
it includes total 35 of write-up. And as the opening issue, we just set
Yeah,
the title towards strengthening community resilience and global connectedness. This was the term and the gross title of this opening issue, and it includes total 35 of write-up from 19 countries, five professor emeritus from different countries. They contributed their write-up, and our honorable state minister of social welfare and honorable state minister of religious affairs, they contributed their thoughts as they were invited guests of this community talks platform. And I should
brilliant.
share here our upcoming issue, which will be published. The second issue will be published next month, first week of October. How we are preparing, and second, this issue, coming issue, we already decided and asking write up on geriatric care and crisis and caregiving during COVID global perspective. So already I have received 7 write up till today,
Brilliant.
and expecting 15 from different corner of the world, especially on elderly crisis. So here I should ask you, I'll just send you details. If possible, just contribute a freestyle write-up, no specific academic procedure or academic referencing is not required highly, just like storytelling or
Perfect.
editorial format writing.
Yeah,
Yeah, perception writing. Hopefully, you will contribute for this. And
definitely.
after this, in December, we will publish our third issue of newsletter, that would be recovery, addiction recovery, and increasing trend on this. And of course, I would send you later to be added and actively work with us as our advisory panel. That would be, of course, loving for us. We'll be happy to invite you on that part. And lastly, actually, my query is, sometimes we are the motivation makers. Sometimes we motivate people, but
Yeah,
sometimes we become demotivated.
yeah,
It's true.
absolutely.
Does this same thing happen to you? Because I know you are very busy, you are very inspiring, motivating, you are a very good mentor to the youth, not only youth, to the all classes of people around you. But does really depression, frustration or lack of motivation happens in your life? Because some people ask me that. So
You know what? Absolutely. I think we all have some moments where it's really where I think no, it is true though, isn't it? It's we do have those low moments and some frustrations. I think for me, when I feel that something, you've developed something or you want to plan out something and it's just not coming together, or there's some barriers and there's some challenges and hurdles that you're facing because you've got to overcome those, and it just feels so demotivated because obviously we're doing it because for the community, for the people, for the wider community, so they can, for the beneficiaries that we do the work for. But it does feel demotivating, and sometimes we lose the motivation. So I think where I find my inspiration, for example, people like yourselves, day-to-day people who are doing amazing things. So I look at them, and you're right, there's no age. We learn from all ages. We can learn from the young, we can learn from the older generation, from the younger generation, and every day we're learning something. And I think our mindset, it's about being mindful and changing our mindsets, that I'm not going to put myself down. Actually, I'm going to look for that inspirational moment from something, or some reading, or someone, or some specific person, or some quote, or something that really lifts your mood up. And then you just push yourself back out there again, and then do what you need to do. But you're right, absolutely, we all have highs and lows. It happens to the best of us. I'd like to say it happens to everyone, but I think where we gain inspiration, and from others, or draw that inspiration, and just and then build that back up again, is very but
So
also
to
I think
everybody,
it's also important, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's also important we take a little bit of time out, just to refresh, just to take that self time, have that self care. So I think, because, with social work, with community work, all aspects of community work, it can be really challenging and draining mentally for people like ourselves, in the community organizations that do and deliver the work. So I think we should also find something, take that moment out and just reflect and have our own time. Self-care is very important, definitely, just to have that few hours or even a day or two out, just to refresh yourself,
yeah,
rejuvenate
yeah,
yourself.
very good. So Meghna, that uh, we can find in a nutshell that every motivator sometime, of course, in a personal life, social life, people become demotivated, it's true. But when we are when we're self-mentor first, definitely we can recover our frustration very easily. And in our society, sometimes I teach my students, also my kids, that don't compare, that is not yours really. Just try to compare with the lower one. If you have satisfaction in the work, in the demand, in the needs and necessities, that within your capacity and means, you won't be frustrated. So always we become frustrated because of unhappiness that occur from unmet things, or unmet needs, or unmet demands that we expect, but we are not actually able to do that. That is happening everywhere because
Yeah.
people are expecting that I need this one, but he's not in the capacity or means to getting that one by dint of his knowledge, career, or the financial means or support. But he or she is expecting sometime, or sometimes we are getting frustrated because of other people makes us frustrated
Yeah.
sometimes. That is the
Yes,
real thing.
it's a mix
When
of things, isn't it? So yes.
Yeah, yeah, when we are putting on some dress, if someone in the morning, if someone speak with Meghna, you are looking good, very impressive, Meghna is tune on. If somebody says Meghna, dress is not good, or Habib, it's not the proper dress, you can wear the red tie, then I just uh, lose my temper. That is sometimes happening everywhere, and you will be very astonished. When I started this show last year, one of my friend, he is a very high official in a private banking sector. He asked me uh, by calling my nickname that what the hell you are doing and what is your motive from this. And I just directly, eventually he asked me, am I doing this talk show or this YouTube to earn money? But I directly replied him, this is not for that. I'm investing money for this because every show I'm arranging, I'm boasting, but I'm not getting viewers because this type of talk show, people, all categories of people are not interested in to listen to, because this is not a funny talk. This is very realistic talk. So people won't be interested highly to listen to. I don't care for that. But my motive is, if someone out of 100 people, if one be motivated from our talk, that would be my success, that would be my guest success. Actually, that is my motive, and after my departure, when I will not be anymore in the world, after my death, videos will be remaining in the gallery, so people could listen to our voices. If I really could do something better, people will be helped that time. That is my motive actually. So we are very close to the end, so I would request you, Meghna, just to share 2 or 3 minutes the significance of sharing and caring that we are doing actually for the people. How much important is it to care for the people towards building a resilient community? Because without vibrant citizen in the community, community cannot be resilient. It's very very tough.
Yeah. No, I think you've actually touched on it already. Even if you can make a difference to one person's life, and I think that's the mentality to have when we're in this field of work, whether it's our voluntary time we're giving, whether it's paid work, you have to have the passion. We all have to have the passion when we're in this field. It's not about money, because whether you're working in Europe or UK or abroad, a lot of people do not go out there to earn money when they're in community work or charity work. Most of the time it is because it's a passion. You want to make a difference in someone's life or communities, or with an individual. So you've just said it. It's to make that difference, even by this your show, or the all the work we do, the shows that we do, or the topics that we speak about that connect with community, youth and community as a whole and globally. It's about making a difference. And if one person, 10 people, or even 100 people, one person, they pick something out, and you know what it is, someone will always take something out of what you've said, what I've said, and that would be our reward. That's the rewarding aspect. And obviously, and I think you know what, saying that, people should support this. People should support this kind of work. And even organizations, businesses, corporate companies, businessmen, businesswomen, please come together, support it. In your countries, you need to support this. Support the work, support social work, support community resilience. Some people don't know how to do the work, but they can contribute with financially. And there's lots of things that we can do. We can give our time. We can either support financially, or we can, in person. So there's lots of things that we can do to build a resilient community, resilient individuals. And it just makes things easier when you have a good team, you have individuals on the same level, on the same, with the same mentality, who want to make a difference. And it's not about the money. Always it isn't. Yes, money does play a fact when you want to, for example, with charity work, when you're fundraising, you need to fundraise to deliver a program or deliver an event which benefits the community. Again, it's for the wider community, for your local communities. So please, I would stress that everyone has different skill sets where we can all come together and support the amazing work that you're doing, Habibur. And I'm from your journey from last year. It's been amazing. The plan you've successfully connected globally, connected a lot of us globally. And I'm fortunate that I've been connected via a dear friend of mine, Ken, and connected with Amrit Rabai Foundation for the last couple of years. And then I met yourself. So, it's about people connecting and coming together to deliver amazing work and making our youth and our communities resilient, not only in our own countries, but globally, sharing experiences and sharing programs. So hopefully in the future, inshallah, I will come and then, get an opportunity to, work with yourselves in person as well. So yeah, definitely.
Thank you. We're just hoping so, really hope so you could come soon
When
and
things are
we will
better.
work
Yeah.
together. Right. We have planned so many things, but due to social distancing, physical
Yeah.
distancing restriction, we are not permitted sometime. But this all of the touchy word that to be a social worker, to be a community organizer, we should be very passionate, and people can contribute from their own means, own ways. That somebody is giving thoughts, somebody is giving skills, somebody is giving their human power, somebody is giving money. In all sets, actually, these all of the skill sets that you mentioned, these are needed really to see the better community. But sometimes we, uh, because of lack of culture support, I think people feel like this, that community should be better, community should be neat and clean, they should have a good environment, good lifestyle, but they are not interested to contribute to bring to turn this lifestyle good. That is the main problem, I think. So Meghna, thanks a lot again. We are just 30 seconds, we are concluding. We are happy again to connect you today. That is unexpected sometimes, because I know you are so busy, awfully busy these days, but you sacrifice your time for this show. Hopefully some viewers, some friends will watch it out later on, because this is just recorded in YouTube and also live here. We'll just share it more, and hope to see you again. And from my side, from my team side, just I'm conveying our gratitude, honor. We are very honored, Meghna, to have you here today. So thanks again. Hope to see you
Yeah,
in
I
our
just
next
want to say thank you, Habibur. Thank you to your team. And it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to speak to you and be part of your shows as well. Thank you very much for inviting me as well. I just want to say have a
Thank
lovely
you.
afternoon from there. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Lovely
Thank you.
afternoon. Stay safe,
Thank
stay
you.
keep going. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Meghna. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.